One thing we'll try to do a lot in OChem is we try to figure out where electrons lie. So a lot of the times what we'll try to do is we'll try to draw what are called partial charges so we can get an idea about where electrons are along a bond. So if we wanted to draw partial charges, let's just give an example. We can talk about water, for example. So if we take a look at water, this is your water molecule, and overall the oxygen has a higher electronegativity than the hydrogen. And so the way we would, we would relate this to a viewer or a reader is we use what are called partial charges. So partial charges are shown with this little delta right here. And if we said that something is delta negative, we would be saying that there's like a partial charge on an atom, but there is no formal negative charge on that atom. And if there was a delta positive, then that atom would have a partial positive charge, not a full positive. So, if we did a formal charge calculation on this oxygen, we would find that it would be overall neutral. But if you compare electronegativity, you would see that along that oxygen to hydrogen bond, the electrons are actually sitting a little bit closer to the oxygen than to the hydrogen. So we would say that the oxygen is partially negative and this hydrogen is partially positive. So this gives a little bit more of an intuitive idea of where electrons sit along a bond, even if they are, polar covalent or nonpolar covalent. So another example would be called DCM, or dichloromethane. So the dichloro is coming from these two chlorines, and the methane is from the carbon in the center. So even though I'm not drawing this carbon, this dot in the center, this is a carbon. So this looks very similar to methane other than the two chlorines. So this guy is called DCM, or dichloromethane. If we wanted to, then we can try to draw a partial positive and partial negative for this molecule. So if you look at chlorine, chlorine is actually going to be more electronegative than the carbon. So what you would say then is you could draw a partial negative on the chlorine and a partial positive on the carbon.